The video. In this session today, I'm going to share with you how the use of new technology or ICT in my classroom had a positive impact on my teaching, but most importantly in the learning of my students. So we're going to share some what went well and even better ifs. So first off, let's start with the positive impact of using ICT in my classes. Definitely, ICT has been an amazing tool for mastering memory, in particular for retrieval practice. As I said, I have used a number of learning websites. My students had numerous opportunities to engage with the new vocabulary and the new knowledge. And as a matter of fact, I have noticed a massive difference in terms of their ability to recall the new knowledge and the level of accuracy of the new knowledge. It's much better than the cohort I had last year. So definitely, ICT being an amazing tool in that sense. But also, ICT has been used, new technology has been used, the learning website have been used for revision practice. And it actually helped my students quite a lot because they could use those in during their personal time to go over activities that has been covered or new knowledge that have been covered in class, sharing the resources with the students. Have given them this ability to improve their own learning, but independently, definitely, but also to apply that new knowledge as they go over the PowerPoint that you shared with them. Well, I personally shared with my students. But also, ICT has been an amazing way for me to reduce the gap in the learning or increase the teaching and learning pace. By setting some flip learning, my students, especially my Kids Stage 4 students, could go over or could engage with a task that haven't been covered yet in class. So they will have prior knowledge and of the particular task that I want to cover, and it make the teaching and learning pace increase and much better, and give you opportunity to cover more content in the classroom. And then similar to the flip learning, giving them opportunity to consolidate things that we've covered in class through engaging tasks online, actually help them to recall the information better and also to store the information in the long-term memory, which then reduce the gaps in the learning. Okay, using ICT as a differentiated resources as well, because those students have different opportunities, different ways and formats that they can submit their work. They can be creative about their work, or any ways that they want to submit it, taking a screenshot or using a Google Drive, PowerPoint, or taking a picture and send a picture of their work. Give the students more opportunities to actually engage with ICT and be more confident by using them as well. So using ICT all along has definitely shown me a level of engagement. It's much higher than not using ICT at all, because the students become more confident in using the ICT. You, as a teachers, become more confident as well as setting the work, and as a consequence, you will have more students being engaged with the learning and taking some independent tasks, completing independent tasks and submitting their work as well. And then one of the things that is amazing about ICT as well is the ability to share most of the resources that you create online. You can share with your students, but you can more importantly share with your department. That reduce then the workload for yourself and for the people in your department, especially if you're using the self-marked learning website. It's more like using the ICT as a tool for you to plan your lesson, to structure the learning of your students, as it gives you a constant feedback on the learning. This is an amazing way for you to plan your lesson and reduce the workload and target exactly the area that you need to structure the lesson for your students. So it's definitely one of the positive impact and aspect of using ICT in classes. And again, as I said earlier, I have noticed how independent my students are, how resilient they are in the learning, and they will literally complete the task and they will engage with the task in different ways, and they will take more initiative in terms of their learning and be more responsible for the learning, or they become more responsible for the learning. So definitely using ICT help them build that skills as well. So I have to say though, you will see the difference by using it from the beginning till of term till the end of term. Some students will not engage at all, but progressively they will actually improve their ICT skills and they will start to engage even more with the work. So these are all the positive impacts that personally I've experienced by using ICT in my lessons. Definitely improve my teaching and definitely improve the learning of my students by making them more independent, more resilient learners, and improving their ICT skills as well. Now, having said that, we have had some drawbacks and some negatives. Some of the students obviously would lack basic ICT skills, or and will not have access to technology at home. So, in that sense, this is one of the areas that actually we might need to look at. Make sure that students have access to ICT at home and also have the skills to use ICT at home. So you will have some students who will communicate with you. They might be unable to upload resources that they want. They don't know how to submit the work. So this is something obviously you need to might need something that you might need to set up for them, or do a quick tutorial on how to upload your assignment online. But as a teacher, definitely one of the things that you'll come across quite often is the lack of ICT skills, basic skills, and access to technology at home. And definitely these two elements have been the main drawbacks for me in terms of the engagement with the task. So yeah, so this is basically a summary, obviously an overview of how using the ICT in my classroom had an impact, a positive impact, or what the drawbacks of using ICT in my lessons. So if you have any questions, please once again drop me an email and I will come back to you. Au revoir.